So we're kind of on a time crunch today. We've got a birthday party next weekend for my nephew, and we've got some things to get done. We've got a orange slide over here. Let me show you what we're working with. We've got, I said orange, that is definitely yellow. We've got a yellow slide over here that we were working with. Mom got it for $75, and now it's my turn to figure out how to get it to fit onto a ladder, because the idea is to get to go into a swimming pool and get to have something just to slide off of and have a good time. So this is what I've come up with. So what we've got here is I've just built a wooden frame pretty much to go on it, and the ladder was actually too tall. So we cut the bottom off of the ladder just at that last rung and made it tall enough for the slide. What we had going on was we had it mounted. I had it mounted like this, right here. It was up higher. The problem was when we put the slide on here, there was a gap. And we had an option, because you don't want little toes and stuff getting stuck in there. So the option that we had was to cut the ladder to trim it. And I didn't really think that was a great option, because you can't go back from that. Whereas wood, if we just take this, it lines up. I've already marked it out. We are going to take the jigsaw. I don't know if you can see those marks, but I've marked it with a knife just to notch it out so it'll slide up against the ladder. That way it closes that gap without having to cut the slide. I don't know if that's very clear. I'll show you guys when I get it done, or as I'm working on it. That's one notched out. Again, it's not pretty. A hole saw would definitely be a better option for this. But they don't have a hole saw this size right now, so we're just gonna deal with the buzz. It's always holding it at an awkward angle. Yeah. So as you can see, it's rough, but it does close that gap, which is what we were looking for. That's really all we were looking for. So we still have a small gap that I think we can fill in with some silicone. We'll probably do something right there. Then we'll put our whatever we decide to use as fasteners right here. We don't want to do that right now because we want to get the pool and stuff set up and get it in the pool before I fasten it down, I think. We might grab some silicone a little bit later and go ahead and fill that in though. And we might grab some bolts later and just throw them in for now. That way, when the nephew comes over today, he can at least try out the slide. We're going to call that one project complete and move on to the next one, which isn't really a project, it's more of a task. So our next task is actually something that's one of those little projects that turns into a bigger project because you realize that you don't have what you don't have. It's one of those things, like, well, I got time to do this now, and we really need this thing. And it's like you don't have time to do it the next week or the next weekend or whatever. And it's this wheelbarrow. I started on it 3 or 4 weeks ago to replace this on the other side because this was missing just a little spacer, angled spacer, whatever. So I started taking the bolts off, and I had 2 bolts break, and I think I had to cut one, something like that. So I had to order some bolts before I could even fix it. So I'm not gonna mess with the rest of them until I get some more bolts in. So I ordered some bolts. Then just had to have time to do it. So we're probably gonna go grab the impact driver. I should have had all the tools down here already because we need this to help us with our next project task thing. So yeah, I'm gonna grab the impact and hopefully I can remember the right size that I need to take this off. Then we will see. So we've got what I believe to be the right standardization. We've got metric. I think it's metric. Almost everything's metric. Yeah. So it looks like we're cutting. Grinder it is. It was universal. Want to make sure we get all of our pieces so we don't have anything laying around for kids and stuff. And now what we got to do is copy this times 2. Now what we got to do is copy this angle onto a piece of treated wood. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of them because might as well do both sides. So I don't know if this is the best place to cut it, but we're just using an offcut of the slide project. I have a track saw. I normally overkill things by making things more complicated than what they need to be. But we're on a time crunch-ish. And this doesn't need to be perfect. So, we're going to pull the saw back out. Our only goal here is to not cut the step. Before we cut it off, we're gonna go ahead and do our other angle. Should just be able to make a straight cut right here. My marking screwdriver. So it's very hot today, guys. I'll find the temperature here in a little bit and tell you guys maybe. But right now, I'm just trying to get this done. No, I don't think that looks good. I'm not happy with it, Mark. There we go. She's just solid Mark right there. Who's Mark? I don't know. Who is Mark? Here we go. gonna do this. There's both the little pieces. See how close they are. Oh yeah, close enough. Not bad at all. So now we need to mark our holes. See if I can get you guys a good angle right here. So, as we can see, this was the side that was toward the actual metal part of the wheelbarrow. Because that's the recess that the carriage bolt was setting in. So we need the flat side. What was the flat side? I don't know if there was one. But what we're going to do is we're going to take what we're going to call the flat side. Nah. We're going to mark them out. Our holes. Center is going to be center. It's going to remain center. And we're just going to eyeball these. Actually, let's go grab a measuring tape. So this is, we're going to do freedom units. 1 1/4 inches from the end. And then what's really important is getting hole to hole, right? It's not that important to get how far we are from the edge, I don't think. So hole to hole is the important one. So 1 1/2 inches. I don't think I can show it on camera here. We are looking at about 15 1/4. So 15 1/4. I could measure it on the wheelbarrow when I'm cutting it up here. I'm gonna make sure the other side is 1 1/2 inches also, or 1 1/4. And it is, so it's centered up on both sides. So it's drilled direct 1 1/4 there. Quarter here, and then we want it on center, 15 1/4 apart. And we're going to drill a hole to the lower side, so it's not going to matter that much. Thing is, I think, is we want to make sure that they meet up together. So we're going to have to kind of angle our drill. So I'm going to flip one board over. The edge, and we'll have the edge marked. I'll flip this one over, mark the edge, and with this one, and here on this side, that's pretty much all we want to do is have something to line our drill bit up with. I realize I'm not getting good angles on this, am I? I didn't think it really mattered on this side. But what we've done, we've got our mark right here. Just, you know, kind of stay center. I don't know if y'all can see it. But we got a little mark right here, a little scribe. And then I have a little scribe right here on the edge. So when I'm drilling, I can keep it lined up with this scribe. I actually need to mark it on the side. Yeah. So that'll get me close. Now let's figure out what size drill bit. The biggest one, that was the size. I think it's 1/2 inch. 3/8. Close to center right here. Just have something to line it up with. I did it on the other side, didn't I? Where'd I scrap this? Did I not mark this one? Okay. Do this one first. I guess I did. Okay, there's that mark. Just can barely see it. There we go. And this one's not really gonna matter because it's just so close. Oh no! So this video will probably get edited and uploaded the weekend of the party. We're doing it the weekend ahead right now. It's actually 4th of July weekend. Yesterday was the 4th, was a Sunday. I was off all last week, but I mean, it was just so hot last week. Too hot to do anything really. So we didn't. But now it's like, now it's got to get done. So just, it's a cooler day than what it's been. I'm up early in the morning, so trying to get it done. I don't think that I need to countersink these for this. I don't think it was to begin with. I think it was just kind of there. Okay, we're gonna have to go drill these closer to the end. Okay, so we got them. I think. Go ahead and throw a washer and a nut on. Do the same thing on the other side. I love seeing it all come together. Where it actually looks like it's gonna work. Because we were using it with that missing for a while and I hadn't noticed it. And then when I did notice it, I still used it for a little while. This is stainless steel hardware. Anytime I buy stainless steel, I try to buy it powder coated or something. Just because stainless on stainless galls up and jams up real bad. Project number 3. So, me madre bought these umbrellas right here off Facebook Marketplace. Just patio umbrellas. I think she gave $25 a piece. She got 4 of them. We've got 2 stands that I've made. One out of an old shop vac bucket. The other out of an old planter and umbrella stand, like to put under a patio table or something. We need 4. I don't guess we need 4. I think we're just gonna make 1 more right now. And then we're going to drive a stake in the ground for the other one because they have open holes in the bottom. So we can like put it over a T-stake or something. And I think that's what we're going to do for the other one, or keep somewhere kind of permanent. We might end up making 2 today, but for right now we're just going to make 1. We've got these, see at Lowe's, I don't remember what size this is, guys. 25 inch. So this is a 25 inch planter. We got them from Tractor Supply. At Lowe's, they are $37 or something like that. They're up there. At Tractor Supply, that was $20. Plus, I think they had like a 15% off sale that day. So, you know, $18, something like that, is what we paid for that. It's pretty good. And what I've already done to it is I took one of these, which is from this is actually just a pole from one of those sheds right there. We had one that the wind hit real bad, blew off on, destroyed. It was actually sitting over here where the carport was at. We got an actual carport up now. But yeah, so I just heated one of these up and poked holes in the bottom. So this is like the perfect size. And seals up against it. I was going to take hot glue and seal against it, but I don't, it's just such a tight fit, I don't think that it's needed. So we're just going to cut a couple down. But the reason for the holes and what we're going to do is we're going to put these pipes in there, cut them down, put them up to where they stick up a little bit, and we're going to fill it with concrete around them. The reason we're putting these in there so it doesn't fill up with water. Because that's the problem we're having with the other ones right now, is they're filling up with water. I'm just going to drill some holes in the sides of those. But I figured do this one a little bit better since we're starting from scratch. Yeah, and because this involves concrete, it is going to involve a wheelbarrow. But right now, we're just going to cut these down. Put them, how many I got? Got 4 holes right there, and then the center one, we're going to cut this piece of conduit down that we had left over, and I'm going to hot glue it around the bottom so it seals, so water won't gather in that and rust out the umbrella things. I've got a hole drilled right there in the center. So hopefully it works. I think it takes about 1 bag for a smaller plant, or a bag and a half for a smaller planter to have enough weight. For this one, because it's got a wider area on the bottom, I'm thinking maybe 1 bag. We also have one that was that got wet, so we're just gonna bust that up and throw in there underneath the concrete, because we're looking for weight. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for, you know, it being the sturdiest stuff, the most anti-cracking stuff. I don't care. I want it sturdy, because we're gonna move these around with a dolly, like a hand truck. So anyway, yep, enjoy the show. And we're just gonna eyeball how high up we need it, because I don't know, these will eventually rust out. I know that. I'd rather go a little higher with them. And then we'll just cut them all the same size. Now eventually I might like to put dirt in the top and put some plants around it. And we'll do it right here on the safe side. But we'll do that a little bit later, when it comes down to it. Cross that bridge. Whatever they say. Now for our piece of conduit, I've actually got it a little longer than what it holds the umbrella a little bit better, so we're probably going to cut this one a little bit longer than what it needs to be. Again, probably just going to eyeball it though. We will use the not pretty side. Go down toward the bottom. I'm going to try to do this part first, just because it's in the middle and I don't want the rest of the pipes in the way when I'm trying to hot glue it. A tool of the day, I guess you call it. Battery powered hot glue gun. It does not have to be Ryobi. This is actually my mom's. I got her one. I've got a Melith. I'll probably leave the link in the description for the Melith and this one. Battery powered hot glue guns are underrated, just for what you can do with them, you know. So dead batteries will not heat up glue. So I had that on for 10 minutes, not doing anything. So while hot glue gun's heating up, I figured I'd also show you guys. I'll probably put this in on there. You can get like extended tips for the hot glue guns. That's probably hot, so I don't know if I'll be able to take off or not. And I think this one definitely does accept it. Like, I guess you gotta be, it just depends on what kind you have. Another pair, you know, Knipex, whatever you want to call it. This is very hot right now, so I'm doing a hot swap. I just dropped that. But the extended hot glue gun tips, I don't know how long you can get them. Again, I'll try to link everything I'm using, even the pliers, the hot glue gun, the wheelbarrow, impact. I might even be able to find the tripod, but you can probably just type in Amazon tripod or tripod in the Amazon. It's probably one of the first ones that pop up, because I think I gave $20 for it. It's not $20 now, I can tell you that. We're gonna hot swap that, and that just makes it easier to get down in there around things. I actually got these extensions. My mom would make like flower arrangements for graves and stuff. She was into that for a little while, and she needed a hot glue gun. So I got her a good hot glue gun, just a plug-in one, and I was like, I wonder if they make extensions, because getting down to the flowers on some of those would prove hard at times. So I looked it up, and sure enough, they had extensions, and they are, oh man, yeah, I think, yes, yeah, it's still cold. I don't know if I'd go much further than this, because I just imagine it'd cool off quicker. If you have like a super high temp plug-in hot glue gun, this one's got the adjustments on it. I don't think mine does. I think mine's just on and off. So this is probably better, but it's just little things like that that are nice to have around. You don't know what you use hot glue for. I do think this is hot enough that we can seal this. I'll try not to move it around too much. Oh no! There we go. Do that, yeah. A glue bit. Okay, and then all we're just gonna do. You can also bring out like water and ice. If you're bringing out water or ice or something like that, though, it can. I mean, you better know that that's where you want it when you get it, because it's really hard to get it to stick around water. Yeah, that'll probably do for me. Gloves down there. Go ahead and put some tools up. Okay, we're back good enough to where I think we're cool enough to where we can start putting the pipes in. Like I said, I think they're going to seal good enough. I won't need any. I probably should have done this around on the other side where the water hose is at. I think we can just throw everything in here and get it carried over. Yeah, that was gonna happen. Now what I think I'm gonna try to do is a way to do the cracker jacks. Well, actually I have a 4-rod. I'm gonna take the big one. Try to shove it through that middle hole so it can support this rod. They're the conduit. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So the hot glue gun did not hold for the trip. Here's some of that other concrete I was talking about. We're gonna set that, So I'm gonna try to center that while I'm getting concrete in it, because I just don't see that working how I want it to. So yeah, we're gonna hop on that, I guess. Mixing some concrete. Should be wearing a sweater, I know. Not right now. I've not put the things in it yet. But I was gonna wait till we get the pool to fasten it. That way we're not moving it around while it's on the ladder. I can fasten it to try it, but when we get ready to all undo it. So, I don't know if anybody else had this. When I was younger, I was always taught, and this is where, you know, growing up and researching stuff yourself comes in. I was always taught, like, you're supposed to mix concrete super wet. Like, it would almost be soup. And, like, I know that's wrong now. Like, oatmeal consistency. But then we also make oatmeal like soup, too. So, I don't know. But, yeah, I think this is about what you want it. Maybe it's a little wet. Here, again, what we're doing here isn't exactly crucial. Show you guys what I'm doing. Will probably help a little bit, right? So I got it holding itself now. Now what I'm going to do, we got a bunch of like broken bricks and stuff. I'm going to start chucking some of those in there too. There we go. Now I think the other bag we've got isn't actually concrete. I do believe it's mortar, but it should be fine. Again, if you guys do projects like this, just remember you're not looking for weight. I mean, you're not looking for, like, you know, something strong enough to hold together super well. You're looking for something that can hold together well enough that if it tips over, it's not going to spill out everywhere. And this shouldn't tip over. Even if we filled it with sand would probably be fine. Go to your, if you're going to build this, go to your Lowe's or Home Depot. Anything that's got a hole in it, any bag's got a hole in it, sand. If you want to put sand on the bottom, or just mix some sand with some concrete. It's usually on sale. We got some bags, we got a ton of bags of mortar for 75% off. They were almost full bags. We ended up getting them for like $1 something. $2 maybe. A bag for an 80-pound bag. So that's pretty good. I remember when concrete, like, regular price was $3 and something. Back, you know, pre-cuff, pre-20. Again, it's important to note this is not an instructional video. This is an entertainment video. Do everything that you're going to do at your own risk. I'm not responsible for anything that you do and get hurt. Okay. So the phone got too hot, so I take it inside and cool it down. So we're going to move it back in the shade a little bit, the phone itself. And there's a wasp after me. I guess this wasp thinks I want to get it on its junk. I don't. Come at me, dude. Okay, so far I won that fight with that wolf. I've never had any problems with any wasps. I got wasps in my workshop. I was in every day last year. Never bothered me. I don't bother them. They don't bother me. But for some reason, this one's picking a fight. He might win the battle, but he's still gonna win the war. Shade come over, so I'm gonna move the camera where it's not right next to the air conditioner. Blasting. I said shade come over as soon as I do that. As soon as I do it, the sun comes back in. Again, this is like a mortar mix stuff, so it's way more powdery, it gets way heavier. I'll probably mix it a little wetter. And I do believe we're gonna call that done for now. Before I get stung by wasps. Just eyeball this up and up, that's fine. So this is the last and final project for the day. The other day, no storms or nothing. That limb just broke off right there. We've had problems with like dead limbs falling off of this one, as you can see. Right there in the front, that was a dead limb. Pieces of it had been falling off over, I don't know, past year. And we really probably need to get it took down, because the only piece of that that's hanging off now is hanging off on this side, which is leaning pretty good. And then the only thing in the way are all of our buildings, and of course the house, but I don't think it'd hit the house if it went over. You can see the house between the two buildings up there. Now this one that fell did hit this building, obviously. You can tell right there. We might have to seal the top to keep it from leaking, but I mean, these insulated buildings are pretty tight anyway, so we'd probably be okay for a little while at least. But yeah, this is where we take the nephew around on the four-wheeler. As you can see, the trail goes through right there. And then of course we have no access over here, and it turns into a snake pit. So I don't know if we're gonna get all this one done today. This is what else we needed the wheelbarrow for, is just to throw the logs and stuff in. We just pile them over to the side right now. We probably need to eventually get a wood chipper. But the little logs and stuff will end up burning as we burn cardboard and, you know, yard sticks and stuff like that. And I'd already started on it yesterday. The chainsaw blade probably needs sharpened. I gotta hunt out the files. That's another project, right? I got a lot of it cut up, but yeah, we're gonna pull a lot of it with a four-wheeler. Mainly just the big brushy bits we need to get rid of. So I'm going to start on that. So what I was doing with those branches right there is just getting where the stick ends are facing one way so I can bring the foiler down, tie to it, and pull it over in the woods. Let it rot down. Make some animal habitat, birds. We like having birds and rabbits and stuff in the yard. So, yeah. Okay, this is the other project we needed the wheelbarrow for. This is probably more than what it needs to be. Yep. Another good tool story. Closer we. Get a little closer. Let me tell you about this. This saw right here, I was hauling some stuff to the landfill, and there was that box with the blade cover, of course, sitting there, sitting on top of the dumpster that I was unloading into. And first thought is, okay, somebody emptied out their garage, got rid of their old chainsaw. Okay. I started throwing some stuff in. I was like, no. There's no chance there's a chainsaw in there, right? I pulled it out. Sure enough, there was a chainsaw in there. It's this Homelight Ranger. It's just Homelight Ranger. And I was like, okay, well, it's probably broke. I'll take it home, and if it works, it works. I'll probably get it fixed, maybe run a little bit. Great for little limbs and stuff, some brush. I got home, I pumped the primer bulb 3 times, it starts right up. No problems at all. And I've used it ever since. That was 3 years ago. We used it to cut up a few storm trees. There's a storm tree blow down over the road, up the road here, and we helped the neighbor clear it so they could get through. It's made me some money when I was doing lawns and some land clearing years ago. It's been a pretty good little saw. I've replaced the bearing in it. That is it. So, just Homelight Ranger. Needs blade sharpened, probably, but we'll see what we can get done with it. Got the four-wheeler stuck. Got my four-wheeler stuck trying to find a path out of the woods. It's high centered on a log, so we're just gonna cut the log. She's in there good, but hopefully we can kick her out. I don't know. We made it out. Now we gotta go back and get the chainsaw. Now we have a path. Now we'll go hook a ratchet strap to a few of those limbs and start pulling them down. Okay, just wanted to give everybody a little update on the slide. As you can see, I added some more stuff to it to turn it into a water slide. So I'm going to kind of run through it with you guys and talk about it and show you what our setup is. So, what we've got here is we went ahead and siliconed up the slide, so we filled that gap. Just some silicone. That's all it is. Just clear silicone. We went around this hose. What I done with this hose is I just got some. I kept some 3/8 hose because it fits these PEX connectors pretty perfectly. So it just makes connecting them really easy. But I keep like 3/8 cheap hose around, and I cut it to go around here. Zip tied it on both sides. Got it running up under here to a T going down. Now I probably would have used a different pump, a 12-volt pump. The reason I want to use a 12-volt versus like one that you plug into the wall, like a pond pump or something, is the 12-volt pump. Even if it gets electrified by water, I don't think it's like enough to shock anybody. The impedance is enough. Versus if you use like 120 volt, it's actually, you know, plenty enough to shock somebody through the water. So we just use a little Power Wheels battery. We also have a lithium battery that I think charges up that we'll probably use that's 12 volt if we need to. I don't know how long it's going to run. I don't know how long this battery will run it fully charged. But then we got a hose coming off the back of that connected to a little filter, a little trap filter right there. And then this hose will eventually just go into the pool. I don't know if we'll have to add a weight or something to it, but it just go into the pool. I've got in a bucket of water right now just for demonstration purposes. But essentially all we have to do is plug up this battery. And then as you guys can see, we have water. That should be plenty enough flow for a little kid's water slide. Just keep it a little wet, keep it cooled down. The main reason I like having water on a slide like this isn't for like you know, it being a water slide, because obviously this isn't enough to push people down or whatever. It's enough to keep it wet, and it's enough to keep it cool. Because at the other pool we have down here, I don't know if you can see it from up here. Hang on, I'll show you. So we've got this little kiddie pool down here. Or this little, the kiddie pool, and then the little slide going into it. Before anybody's worried about no railings or nothing, like no kids are down here unless somebody's up here watching them, make sure they don't go off the side. Nobody goes down the slide constantly. The kid comes down here, get in the slide, he get in the pool, and then they just stay in the pool. But this gets hot in the summer when the sun's shining down on it, and it's too hot to set on. So this is why I kind of like having a pump to pump water over it. Even if we don't keep it on the yellow slide, even if we don't keep it on this yellow slide, it'd be enough to keep it cool. If nothing else, it's just a fun little project. I did it when my nephew was out here with me. He helped me crimp the fittings, so that's just what I enjoy, spending time with him. And then we've also, I'm gonna go ahead and throw an umbrella in this so you guys can see it. So as you can see, the umbrella stands does as it should. We did have some concrete clogs in our drain pipes, our drain tubes we put down in there. I just took a piece of rebar and a hammer, and they knocked right out. So no problem. The water seems to seep out of the bottom. There's a lot of. I should have smoothed it out. Like hindsight being 2020, I should have. Be honest, it's probably going to crack up enough that it will just drain through itself. I'm not really worried about it. These metal pipes are getting to work. They'll just come out anyway. So we'll see. But there's one of them. And then we have another one over here behind the griddle that we just put. I don't know if you can see. I put some drill holes down in there to let it drain out. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see those down there. And then we've got the one next to the pool down there. I don't know if you guys can see it too good. Just a flower pot, concrete, and a tube. And that's that thing there at the bottom of that flower pot is actually an umbrella stand that goes under like a picnic table. And we put a hole in the bottom of that flower pot, filled with concrete, and it was enough to hold it up. So yeah, and we mostly got where that tree or that limb fell. We got it all cleaned up. Like I said, there's some stuff over in the woods here. We'll just cut up throughout. We just mainly needed it out of the way to drive the four-wheeler. And my dad actually drives the bass boat. When he's taking it up to put it into the carport, he'll bring it up through this way. This is the path he takes to bring it around. So it really needed cleaned out. Like just some pieces left. We split some. The nephew likes watching us split our wood, so you know it's a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of a workout. But yeah, so we got it cleaned up enough for what it needs to be cleaned up for, and then over the next few weeks, probably just come out here, cut it up, and stack it. But I think that's all the projects. This is actually a week later. Ran out of space on the phone and the camera. Well, it didn't run out of space on the camera. The camera battery's been dead. So this is a week later. It's not as hot this week. Let's see. And then, yeah, I think that's it. The garden needs mowed around the garden beds and stuff. But besides that, I think we're good. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more just fixing things or just random projects going on or yard work, or maybe just some trips, like, subscribe, leave a comment, negative or positive. If you have any tips, pointers, I'll take any of it. Again, everything used, I'm going to try to remember to link it in the description. If not, just leave a comment and I'll get it for you guys. See ya.